Hey Savannah, this is Rebecca Lane, your PCP instructor, and I'm just wanting to give you a little bit of feedback on your outline. First of all, make sure that you follow this outline format. Okay, so we gave you this worksheet for a really specific reason, and that was for you guys to go ahead and follow it. So you'll see we've got titles on these things. The thing about an outline is that it's not an essay, and the reason we write outlines in speaking presentations is that we don't want to write out every word verbatim. And in fact, as a speaker, it turns out that it's a lot easier if you practice saying things in a different way, and then you end up with you have the outline of concepts. And that's the kind of thing that you can glance at, you can practice with, and it makes it a lot easier in the long run if you just write an outline. So you'll notice that the beginning portion is really specific, and each of these items should be like about one sentence. So I'm looking in your beginning for about 1 to 2 sentences for each of these items, and I want them to be specifically labeled. So you are going to need to reformat your outline before you do anything else. So you've got the beginning, you've got your big idea. Okay, so your open with impact needs to happen first, right? So your hook should have happened before this. Your big idea, sound waves and musical tones can improve our health, repair our DNA, provide substantial healing to our bodies. Okay, cool. Let's look at the example here. Big idea, Facebook's impact on our lives is more negative than positive. That's their example, so we took a stance. Sound waves can improve your health. You took a stance. That's really good. Okay, we don't need to know the reason why you want to talk about it right now. Your attention grabber, it is important for people to look within. Okay, so let's think about that hook for a second. That hook should be the very first thing that you say, and it should be something that makes us lean in or generate thought or ask questions or get a really specific picture in our brain. That is what a hook or an attention grabber should do. So for example, in our sample outline, this person is choosing to start with a story about 2 back-to-back negative experiences using Facebook. Great. So you've got some broad statements right here. I need you to make a really specific choice and write it down. You're saying a lot about your feelings. I just want to have a moment, like a quote or a statement or something that's going to make me generate thought. We can get to your thoughts later, right? But let's start with something concrete. I feel like the audience should listen to my words and rely on my credibility because I will go to great lengths to prove. Okay, so you're saying basically that you're a good person. We should believe you because you're a good person. But that doesn't work. So they came out a little harsh, and I don't mean it to be, but we need to know what your experience is. Do you have experience? Have you done research? Have you personally worked with sound healing? Have you read a lot about it and you just think it's a really cool idea? I mean, we want to know what your investment is so that we understand what level of expertise you have. It's not bad either way. But if we don't understand, that's going to be a standing question in our brain, and that question is going to get in the way of us listening to you. So you say, it has even helped myself. Okay, so how? So, we need to be specific here. Helped you in general doesn't give me an image. I don't understand what that means, especially since we don't understand what the sound healing is, right? So what is your specific instance? If you can tell me a 2 to 3 sentence story that's going to help me understand what your credibility, your experience is, then this is where that needs to happen. Okay, so you're saying you've got a call to action. Actually, this should be a call to adventure, right? You got a call to adventure. And this should be something that has to do with your audience that sounds big. Will be to talk about an outstanding personal experience. So you're asking your audience to talk about an outstanding personal experience of healing regarding a person who is seeking a way of healing. Okay, so again, you're kind of talking around the subject, and this doesn't really fulfill that concept of call to adventure, because that's something that you want your audience to do, right? Anytime that you are doing a persuasive message, you have something in mind that you would like to change about your audience. Maybe it's an action, maybe it's a belief, maybe it's a value. But you really have to focus, your call to adventure needs to work on that. All right, so you've got this middle section. Sound healing and a variety of techniques, exercises are used. Okay, so you basically wrote me an essay here. And I think that you've got some really good information, but again, we need to break it down into outline format. I don't want every word that you're planning to say. I need that preview of main points. Where is it? Supporting point 1. So notice that within this outline, we're doing this constant contrast between what is and what could be, what is and what could be. See how this supporting point 1 has a claim, right? That main point. Waste less time. You could, if you go along with me, you could waste less time. In your life, you're going to be wasting less time and you're going to be spending your day doing more productive things. Okay? But here's what's really going on. The average American spends 149 minutes on Facebook per day. And I know this because the Today Show told me. This is a fact. Okay, so that's the kind of thing that you are going to need to be talking about. And creating that contrast really creates a more solid vision of the need that you are establishing, right? So you're saying there's a variety of techniques. That sounds like you're informing us about it, which is a good start, but we really want to work on what does it look like if I adopt sound healing? What's going to happen? So whenever you are feeling down, feeling blue, listen to music, brighten your day, express a feeling. Most of the time after listening to our favorite music, we cheer ourselves up. Overwhelming sense of calm overcomes us. Sound healing works the way. Okay, so you're saying something about the molecular structure of our brains, but I don't see you cite anything. Okay, so please make sure that you cite this information. You're making some really strong claims. And go ahead and parse this out like an outline. Use bullet points. Bullet points are your friend in this kind of a document. So you're making claims. Science has proven that sound and vibration has a strong impact, can change our consciousness. Used to alter brain waves, that is a huge thing considering it can actually change your mind, these delta waves. Okay, again, you're giving us a lot of information. Make sure you're using this format. Part of the structure of this class is really getting you guys to use this kind of an outline. So really work to create that contrast. I like that you're citing information here. I think this is excellent. So this is kind of a what could be, right? That conditions and illness that have been healed with certain tones greatly helped even remedy the disease. So this is what's going on right now. This happens. So what could be? What does that look like in my life if I choose to adopt your philosophy here? Okay, so you're saying it's been used for centuries to heal disease. Who's been using it? Growing spiritually. You say research, but whose research? The eardrum is connected to every organ of our body. First of all, this would be a really great opportunity to show us a picture that supports this. But also, just make sure that you're making claims that you can back up scientifically. In summary, there have been a ton of scientific studies. Okay, ton is very vague. It looks like you're starting to support some research. Make sure that you intersperse some personal stories, like how this works. The reason we take fact and story, and we alternate them like that, is because a lot of times we'll give an information, we'll make a claim, we'll give some facts, but those don't make sense in real life until we tell a story. Human beings understand information through story. So give me a story about how those facts play out. So you see how every time I try to say something, then I show you an example of what's really been done. Stories serve that same purpose. Use them for that. So the eardrum is connected to every organ in your body. Tell me a story now. Tell me an example. Talk me through that. Okay, so you say through your research, what kind of research have you done? What are your qualifications to do research? What is your experience? Okay, so we've got the soundhealingcenter.com. That is not an APA source citation. Do make sure you cite your sources correctly. Forgotten in time. Okay, you still need to cite this correctly. When was it published? That kind of a thing. You can try the Purdue OWL. They will tell you. This is not APA source citation either. APA source citation usually starts with the last name of the person, last name, comma, first initial, parentheses, date it was published, period, title of the document. I think it's in italics, but I can't remember. There's a period. So look up the Purdue OWL, and that'll help you out with your APA source citations. So you're off to a start. Use this. This is the Ignite Outline worksheet. You need to use this. Okay, let me know if you have any questions. I'm looking forward to hearing this. I think you've got a really interesting topic, and I really would love to help you turn this into a project that will play out the way that we're looking for. All right, thanks, Savanna.